what is artificial intelligence in the world today? When we talk about AI, we always link it with reactive machines. Machines that will supposedly think like us or react with an intelligence like us human beings. But then, before we could get down to artificial intelligence, we will need to get down to the basic digitalization.
What is digitalization? It is a term that a lot of people are talking about. There are so many definitions of the word that we find it hard to get it right and be understood. To put it simply, what can digitalization do? Digitalization translates analog to digital. Digitalization transits processes to save cost. That must be it. Else, who wants to run a business with digitalization and yet loses money? It just can't happen. With this digital transformation, business transforms to create value. Not only it is expected to save money, it is expected to increase the value of the company. That's digitalization. But long before digitalization, we are pretty primitive, comparing to our present digital age. In the beginning, human society has been progressing rapidly, having innovation and technology advancing at an exponential rate. From the use of manual labor to the use of machinery at short notices. Humanity is approaching a new age where the world is connected as a whole and with information going at the speed of light. Now, we will go through the history of the industrialization, from where it has started to where the future takes us. If you are old enough, you would have probably witnessed technology changes from the early industrialization triggered by steam power. It proves that manpower is not enough. We need machine to reduce our effort to do more work. Then comes electric power. Technology brings the world together. We start to connect with each other, we do business with each other, it becomes a way of life. Then everyone began to realize, we can never keep to ourselves to progress. We need to go global, and global economy is born. Getting to the other part of the world is still slow. Your mails could take days to reach from one point of the world to another. Your telephone calls could cost you, just by having a short conversation, for a few minutes. Your flight to another part of the world for meeting, and then back, will drain your resources, not to mention your sleep, from your part of the world to daytime on another part. Then all these change when computer starts to become part of our lives. Computers, like mainframe that could only exist in big corporation, become smaller and smaller, until a personal computer become a norm in every home. Information technology and electronics led the third industrial revolution. We become more mobile. Workplaces became smarter, and we all got more personal when mobile phone joined in. Billions of smartphones were sold. We all got closer by a click of a phone. The irony is, things move so fast, we have to move fast too. And to think that computerization's supposed to help us to use less effort, but with more work done. For point zero brings everything together. From the physical to the digital interconnect global chain. From the hard currency to the cryptocurrency that span billions of dollars across the globe using blockchain technology. From Asia like Singapore to the European countries to the largest cryptocurrency mining in China. Powerful technology running at incredible speed at our fingertips. With connectivity like the internet comes the Internet of Things that change how the way we live with our lives. We become the center of an ecosystem that delivers every needs at any time of the day. From online shopping to an online library system that could even deliver the book to your house. Patients seeking doctor consultation do not even be physically present at the clinic. A virtual consultation with an accurate diagnosis is soon to become a norm in future without having to step into a clinic. Breakthrough like machine learning and artificial intelligence are already making their presence in school. Using AI as a second marker or as a way of monitoring marking might help improve marking. Can AI be more effective in identifying inconsistent markers? Furthermore, can AI be more effective in spotting an erroneous mark from an otherwise good and consistent marker? Because marking can be a very demanding task, it is to some extent inevitable that there are occasionally mistakes. All AI systems involve training. In other words, the AI system is given a large number of examples with the right answer or the best human judgment, which it will then attempt to replicate. It is important that the training examples use the best human judgment because AI systems are only as good as the data put into them. However, after all the modeling and learning, the impact of using AI as a second marker or as a marker monitoring system will help to improve the way marking are done in school with minimized mistakes. Here is an example of AI being deployed in school, where students have to perform manual tasks like dismantling a computer.
May I know how can AVEX assist you in helping the students?
Well, I think first of all, marking itself is a very demanding task for teacher. To use AI and in this instance AVEX as a second marker or even to monitor marking will help to improve marking itself. Furthermore, I think you also help to spot erroneous marking otherwise from a consistent marker.
Artificial intelligence has come a long way through digitalization. Digitalization clearly has streamlined many processes, transformed many industries, and is seen as an answer towards a more friendly environment. Though digitalization seems to be moving towards a new era of doing business, unfortunately, it creates its own carbon footprints that is unfriendly to the environment. While we are focusing on digitalizing industries, the environment impact of the internet is poorly addressed. Many reports on it is huge. The use of internet required massive data centers. Servers and end-user terminals have created huge carbon footprints on its own. The demand for internet traffic with its services is expected to grow every year. Some examples have already made across the news, like the Bitcoin mining activity. It is so carbon intensive that researchers have warned of its sustainability challenge. The increase in video conferencing and video calls during the pandemic has also created an environmental impact. It is estimated that an hour video conferencing or streaming emits 1,000 g of carbon dioxide. However, technological companies are using artificial intelligence model to reduce energy load of its resource-hungry data centers. Renewable energy companies use AI for better weather forecasting to maximize renewable energy production. The takeaway is that, while AI provides unprecedented opportunities, these may, or may not, always result in a positive outcome. So let us use AI wisely, for the sake of humanity, progressing into another century. Digitalization is the generic term for the digital transformation of society and the economy. It describes the transition from an industrial age characterized by analog technologies to an age of knowledge and creativity characterized by digital technologies. Digitalization allows our society and economy to transit to a more convenient and efficient system. Instead of having to take out cash and count how much we need on the spot, we can easily take our bank card out and scan it for the transaction to go through. We realized that, if we created something to work for us, our jobs would be more efficient. The creation of the steam-powered train allowed cargo to be transported at a far more efficient method, as compared to horse-drawn carriages and mules. Then we started to invent other efficient ways of transportation, and thus, moving towards other industrialization revolution. Technology is one of the key roles in enhancing globalization, as people around the globe access the internet and exchange information easily without having to meet physically. The mass media focus on delivering news to the public online, like news blog and online newspaper. People get the latest news around the world. With access to the internet on the palm of our hands, online banking becomes easily accessible. Mobile phones provide easy access to services, like shares transaction and payment of items that can be bought online. Life in the fourth industrial revolution would be fast-paced, but an efficient world. We would constantly have access to digital services, such as online banking, news, communication, which have been digitalized. This is more efficient and convenient as compared to having analog services. With fast-speed internet connection, home-based learning could be implemented easily in school. With many communication software available in the market, classroom teaching would be less frequent as teachers could conduct a class online easily. With advancements in technology, self-driving car would become a reality in future. Autopilot feature would be a part of digitalization, as AI technology would steer a car from point to point. The Industrial Revolution has gone from 1.0 to 4.0. It has evolved from just using steam power to electricity. Technology has grown so much that it has made the world to be more connected. It helps to bring people and companies together, more commonly known as globalization. Technology does have a huge impact on our lives, from how we communicate to the way we receive news from around the world. Technology opens up channels of communication where people can communicate effectively. Technology cut across borders, which makes learning more accessible to people, regardless of locations.